Hey guys, it's Maymay and welcome to Stamping Saturday. Now this is the day of the week when I use products from our store to hopefully inspire you for some projects, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. These here are bookmarks, and I was inspired to make these by one that my aunt actually gave to my mom. And this is not groundbreaking, you've seen this before. These are those magnet closure bookmarks that actually go across the page, and I'll show you what they do. You open this little guy up and say you want to save this spot. You put it across your page and they magnet together so they don't fall out of your book when you're reading. Isn't that super cute? I loved that bookmark when she gave it to my aunt. And like I said, I've seen them before, but I had forgotten about them. And I thought, we can totally make those. And today I'm going to show you how to make several from just a couple pieces of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So this one and this one. Now and I know I'm spending a lot of time on the explanation, I made this one first and I colored it and I realized that you could see through the back, which happens with markers. So then I decided I would do it like this. So I'm going to show you how to do this one today, but this one is just using white paper and the same thing, white cardstock. I always say paper. Okay, let's get started. The first thing you're going to need is a solid piece of paper for your background. Something else I'm going to do today is I'm going to use minimal tools. Like I don't know if it's going to be 100% minimal, but I'm going to show you how to turn this piece into 4 of those bookmarks. Super easy. Here's what we're going to do first. 8.5 by 11 cardstock. This is 65-pound cardstock. I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm a little picky about folding it, so I take my time and line that up. Then I'm going to take my bone folder and really crease this down. Now, if you don't have a bone folder, take a pin like this and just crease that dude down. You just want to use something to crease it nice and snug. Then I'm going to open this up and I'm going to take this free edge and fold it to that mark we just made in the middle, which is a score mark. We just made it without a scoreboard. So then I'm going to fold this one down, do the same thing, bone folder, and I'm going to crease it so tight. Okay. Then we're going to flip this around. Just because I work better right-handed, you could just fold it in that way. But I'm going to fold this one over to here. Right to the middle again. And we're basically making 4 quadrants on our 8.5 by 11 page. What this is becoming is our bookmarks. But this is the easy way to do it without having to measure, right? Who wants to measure? No one. Now I'm going to cut. And what I'm going to do is just lay this page into my trimmer and cut right on those fold lines. Now, if you don't mind measuring, these pieces are 2 3/4 each. So you could do it that way. But I wanted to show you this way because let's say you have a scrap piece of paper that you want to turn into some bookmarks. Just fold it up to get your correct measurements. You don't have to measure, precisely, especially for my friends that are like in the UK who have different paper than we do. And sometimes my measurements throw you guys off. It doesn't matter the size of the paper if you do that little folding trick I just showed you. Again, I'm not doing anything fancy here. I'm trying to stay away from too fancy of tools, and I'm just folding these in half. Just like so, just like we did earlier. And I am taking the time to line these ends up well because I want that to match up really nicely. Then bone fold it together. So this is the beginning of our fold over bookmarks. This is the base for them. Now you'll notice on my originals, I did some little punches there on the corner. I'm going to do that again. I'm just going to use my angle punch. I really like my angle punch, and it has a large and a small angle. I'm just going to come through here and angle all of these. I like the look of tags, and I think that's super cute. And I think it's cute for a bookmark, so I'm just going to angle these. Now, this is a fancy tool, but I'm going to show you something else. If you don't have that tool, take this little guy, put it down on a surface like a cutting mat, or use your ruler, what have you, mark in 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. See what I just did there? I just marked 1/2 inch on 2 corners. All right, then I'm just going to take some scissors and from one mark to the other, cut. How about that, right? You don't have to have fancy tools. I love my fancy tools, and I love collecting them, and I want to have them, but you don't have to. You can totally craft without them. All right, cut this one. If you really want to cheat, take this piece you just used, the piece we just cut away, line it up on the edge of that piece, and snip it. Use it as your guide to cut, right? So many ways to do this. Like, you just do your thing. Do what works for you. And these little corners will match. That's the big thing. You don't want to just take your scissors and snip the corners away because it's really impossible to get the same angle both times. But whatever way works for you for getting the angle. So there we go. These guys are ready to go. Now we're going to cut the white pieces that go on top of here. Remember how I showed you that I didn't want the color to show through, so I'm going to mount it to a piece like this so it'll be solid on the inside. I want to show you a trick for doing it as well. Now, it's super easy to just measure what you ended up with from that 8.5 by 11 piece, and you can cut something that's 2.5 by 4, okay, just by measuring, and I could totally just do that, but I want to show you something else you can do. Just to save, I don't know if this saves time or whatever, but it's a way to get around measuring all the time. So I'm taking a white piece of cardstock. That's going to be what I use for the matte pieces for my bookmarks. I'm going to cut 1 inch off of one side and 1 inch off of the other side. Now, I don't mind doing this way because I love these pieces for sentiment scraps. I think they're great. I hang on to them. We're going to treat this piece of paper now exactly like we did the other. And I keep saying paper, but I mean cardstock. I'm going to fold this in half, just like I did the first one. Taking that inch off is what's going to give me my 1/8 of an inch border all the way around each of these guys. I'll show you that in a second. Fold it in half. Bring it back over, fold it again. You could totally measure. I'm just showing you another way. And then I'm going to bring this one in. Now this time we need to do something a little different because I want to get just a shorter piece to mat with. I'm going to fold this piece in half long ways as well. Again, overkill. I know you're probably going to want to tell me in the comments. It seems like overkill, but I just have a feeling doing this way may help somebody who doesn't like a ruler, because I know so many people tell me all the time, I don't like using a ruler. So I've got this all folded up, bring my trimmer back over, and now we're just going to cut on those lines that we made. You'd be surprised how many times I hear from people that are like, I just cannot figure that ruler out. And I get it. It is confusing. It's never sure. Everybody measures a little different. Everybody sees things different in their head when they kind of engineer them in their head. So now we are getting all of our little matte pieces without measuring a thing. I did have to cut an inch off of each side, but an inch is usually pretty easy. Now, I told you I wasn't going to use any fancy tools. I am going to use one. I'm sorry. I'm going to use my Misty for this. And the reason is, it just makes this process faster. And I think this is an investment piece that if you're a stamper, you should own. That's just my opinion. Let me pull these guys apart because they just touched. And I've already mounted my little girl here. She's not quite right. I'm going to move her over a little bit. This is the little girl from that stamp set. I think she's so cute. I want her to be just on the page because I want plenty of room for a sentiment or some pretties or anything else I want to add. And I want her to be at the bottom as far as I can get her. So there we go. Now I'm going to be stamping a lot of these. So this is the reason for using the Misty, because I'm going to need to do, I'm going to do 8 of these. So as I stamp her, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. So I only cut 1 sheet of cardstock for my bookmark bases. But for these matte pieces, I'm able to get 8 from 1 piece of cardstock. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to cut myself 4 more bookmark bases, okay, from 1 more sheet of cardstock. We will then get 8 bookmarks from 3 sheets of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Isn't that cool? I love when I can like work that out and tell you guys what we're going to end up getting. But I'm going to get 8 bookmarks out of this today, and I'm only going to use 3 pieces of cardstock. This is a great project. And listen, for kids, oh my goodness, let your kids go crazy in your stash, and then you turn it into bookmarks and give to your friends or family or church members or social groups. Maybe you have a bunko group and you can make little bunko bookmarks for everybody. It'd be super cute. Everybody needs a bookmark every now and then. Oh, while I'm stamping, I want to tell you this too. This is from a greeting farm stamp called Power in His Name. And they were in store yesterday. If they have sold out, I placed a big order yesterday from them. We have more of these coming. So just put them on your wish list on the store and we'll have them in as soon as possible, just to let you know. But this would work with every stamp set you own. Surely you can take a focal image from any stamp set and let it be the big part of the day, you know, the big focal point of your bookmark, and then use the sentiments around it to make really cute bookmarks. All right, I'm through with the Misty. Now, just to let you know, if I put this on the matte piece, on our bookmark piece right now, The top is not matted correctly. Do you see how I have to move it down to make it work? I don't want to do that. I want to cut these corners to match these corners. So I'm going to take my angle punch on the large size and do the same angled punch that I did on the tag. Now I get this really cute green border all the way around. Isn't that cute? I love how that looks. I'm going to do that with all of these guys. And I could probably do about 3 at a time with this little dude. But remember, you can do this just like I showed you on the bookmarks. You can do this just by hand. You just want to make sure that they all match. Now, this is ridiculous. I've become an acrylic block hoarder. I have so many acrylic blocks, and I love that. What I did was I took all of the sentiments and all of the little images off of the stamp set and loaded them on blocks, because this will be fun to kind of run through. We'll move these guys over here, bring one of our little bookmarks over, and I'm also going to be using some of our new Distress Oxide inks. I am in love with these inks. And because I'm going to be using some of my stamps twice, I'm going to fold up a baby wipe. This is actually 2 folded up. I'm going to sit it off to the side. And after I stamp, I'm going to clean it with that. So this one says, "Be truly glad there is wonderful joy ahead." This is beautiful. And I'm going to use this ink, which is Broken China. And I'm going to stamp it right toward the bottom. And I actually went over her a little bit because I didn't have a whole lot of room, but I love it. I think it's cute. We've just got a little stamp there, and we'll keep going. Now you'll see, just wiping this off so it's ready for another ink color. I'm going to close this one up and pick a different color. I think that peeled paint would be cute for this one. This one says, "Most of all, let love guide your life." Very pretty. And I'm going to stamp it down here at the bottom as well. And it may go over her some, but I'm not going to worry about that. Isn't that cute? I love the green. I love the colors. And then again, clean it off. I'm just going to keep going like that. So now that I've done all of my sentiments, I'm going to come back with these little butterflies and the little flower. And I'm going to just dip it into some of the inks and just add these here and there willy-nilly. I'm cleaning in between. I'm not mixing these guys up. So I'm wiping them off on my little baby wipe before I come back over here. So we're not contaminating them. Do this little butterfly. So pretty. And just for fun, I'm just stamping and having a good time. And you do this any old way you want. This is the fun part about it, because each of them can be different. Look how cute this is. I'll bring this up for you to see it. That is so adorable. I'm going to do that to all of them. I'm just going to bring another one over. And I just picked these 3 inks to play with because I know they're going to match everything I just did. So now let's do a different butterfly. Let's do this one. A pink one coming off of there. Super cute. You guys, these inks, amazing. I'm just going to say it. And this is like a little vine from the same stamp set. Still using one stamp set. And I'm going to have it come across the top like this. Just for pretties. I love it. Now for a little more assembly line work. This is the other page I did to give myself 8 tags. We need to make the magnets now. And the magnet piece I'm using is some rolled magnet I picked up at Walmart. Now, this is not what I would suggest. Let me tell you what I would suggest. When you go looking for magnet, get the thinner, skinnier one so you don't have to do what I'm fixing to do. But it's not a big deal. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to cut strips. And I'm just eyeballing the size. If you need to measure, you can. But I just want it to be roughly the same width as the bottom of my bookmark. So there's one there. And I need 1 whole piece for each bookmark. So I need to cut 8 strips, and you'll see why. So I have 8 strips cut here. Now I'm going to cut up the center. Now if you buy it already the right size, you don't have to do this part. You can just cut pieces of it. And I know they sell it that way. I've seen it. I just didn't have any in my stash. So this is how I'm doing it. Now this is self-adhesive magnet strip. It's already got the adhesive on the back, but I discovered that the adhesive was not strong enough. So I'm going to add adhesive. So I'm going through each one of my magnet pieces because they're not strong enough to stick on their own. And I'm peeling off the adhesive backer and just exposing that. Then I'm going to take some sticky tape and add to it because I find that that helps so much. But you could use a wet glue here if you needed to. You could just add it to the back. You do whatever you've got. And I think you'll be happier because this is going to get some wear and tear. you know, as people open and close the magnet, and I want to make sure they stick down. And remember, when making a lot of something, sometimes there's a little bit of assembly line work to do, and this is no big deal. So now with all of their adhesives exposed, I'm taking my sticky tape and I'm running it down the back. I'm not covering the entire thing. I'm just putting one strip of sticky tape as an extra added adhesive. And I'm not being real precise. I just need a little extra on there. So it takes a minute, but no more than 5 minutes to do this. So I'm just adding some art glitter glue to the back of my little pieces, and I'm going to center it on the bookmark piece. Look how cute. Now, I did not color these. Notice that I'm leaving these black and white. You could totally color them. I just didn't. For time's sake and for the video, I would be here much longer if I colored everyone. So I thought I would just get these done and show you. But what if you made them for kids and they could color them themselves with your stamps? We love that. So I have all of my bookmarks with their little mats on them, and now it is time to put the magnets. Again, this is easy, and you could probably peel this off with your finger, but you know I love to use my little pokey tool for this because it makes it so easy. And here's what I do. I come to the bottom, and I just stick the magnet down close to the bottom of the page, like so. Then you take another magnet and lay it on top and let it stick to the previous one. Peel that backer off, and then close the top down on it. Line it up, stick it, and that, my friends, is your magnetic bookmark. How cool, right? I'm going to do that to the others, and they will be ready to go. I need to tell you this, too. When you're applying your magnets, I put down the one first like I showed you, and then I come back with the other one on top. Let me show you why I do that. If you don't do it that way, you may get your magnet on upside down. You know how magnets have poles? See how when I do this, this one doesn't stick down? But when I turn it the correct way, it stays. That's how the magnet needs to be on the other side. So it's a good idea to do it this way so you know you're putting your magnets on correctly. Because now I know they'll stay together. And there we go, guys. 8 magnetic bookmarks that you can give to a friend. Share with people around you. I love projects that we can share. And you know what I would do with these? Put these in your handbag, or put them in the tote bag, or in a pocket where your Bible, maybe you keep all of your things in your little Bible and you want to carry them around with you. Put these in there. And when you come across a friend you want to share one with, give them a bookmark. I love these guys. Now remember, I spent a lot more time on this one. You can see that I colored it. I did stitching. I inked the edges. You can get as fancy as you want. Look at this one. I did it pretty simple. I just colored in the images that I stamped down. You can go crazy, get as simple as you want or what have you, and I love these guys. I cannot wait to see what you guys make. Please make some of these, try them out, and share them with us on our Facebook group, which is called Maymay Made It, and so did I. I love to see what you guys do with these ideas and how you take them and run with them. So I can't wait to see what you do. Have a great Saturday, guys. Talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.